Hi everyone, Antony Antoniou, Northamptonshire luxury property expert. You may be wondering why the intro to this video was Pac-Man, that famous game from the 80s. Well, all will be revealed, because in this video I intend to talk about a ubiquitous trait that is not only a threat to the property market, but ultimately is a threat to the economy as a whole, especially at this time when our economy is the most fragile it has been for decades. I'm talking about those cynical equity manipulators who exploit the faith that people put in them as property professionals and intentionally and cynically overvalue property, not just to win your listing, but also to justify higher fees, upfront costs, long contracts, whatever the case may be. I've been doing a lot of research on this subject, and I've turned up a lot of information. It's all out there, it's all public, it's all available, worth you taking your time to look through historicals to see for yourselves. For example, there's one property here in Northampton. It went on Christmas Day for £1 million. 2 weeks later it was dropped by £100,000. Now, in the balance of probability, do you feel that these people put their house on for £1 million and were willingly prepared to knock 10% off the value of their house within 2 weeks? 2 weeks, remember that date, because when you're looking you will see 2 weeks seems to be quite a common date for property to drop. Why is that? Well, I will explain. 2 weeks is the cooling off period from when you sign the contract. And if you've signed up to a higher commission fee for 3-4 months at a higher price, expecting to get a higher price for your property, once that cooling off period is over, they've got you for months. And if you've signed up to sole selling rights for months, you cannot sell your property without that equity manipulator being paid. So the plan is that they will exploit the faith that you put in them as professionals by misleading you on what you can get for your property just to sign you up. And then once that cooling off period is over, they then intentionally and cynically badger you using every single ploy at their disposal to get you to drop the value of your property. So much so that you may well end up selling for less than the figure of a genuine professional who valued your house properly and may well have achieved in excess of the asking price in the first place. In fact, there's one national chain that has listers and negotiators. The listers are the modern day double glazing salesmen. They'll turn up, they'll promise you the earth, they'll tell you you'll get 120% of what you think your property is worth, and so on and so on and so on. It's worth paying that little bit more, sir, isn't it? Yes, of course it is, but you'll never see him again. And once that cooling off period is over, the negotiator will step in. And with this particular national chain, the negotiator is on a commission for how much they can get you to drop your property. These equity manipulators then become, remember Pac-Man, the equity nibblers, because they'll use every excuse to get you to slowly drop the price of your house. Your dishwasher's in the wrong place, your kitchen is not big enough, your lounge is not white, you didn't cut your lawn, whatever it may be. Any excuse possible to get you to drop the value of your house, because they're not concerned about fighting to get you the best price. They're just concerned at your property jumping out to people on the portals based on price, so they can get paid for simply answering the phone instead of marketing your property to get you the best price. So beware what you are doing, beware of valuations. By law, agents are obliged to justify how they have valued your property. So when somebody does value your property and you think it's a bit higher than what you had expected, ask them, what has sold that compares to yours? What evidence do they have? When did it sell? What did it achieve? What did it go on for? How long was it on the market? What is the square footage? What is the plot size? What is the condition? And how can they justify the price that they are saying that your property will achieve? Because you'll find that most of these people will not give you accurate comparables. They will only relate or reference to other properties that they have probably overvalued as well, knowing full well that the next day or the next week those properties are also going to drop. So before you do sign up with one of these equity manipulators, bear in mind, do not go for the agent who simply gives you the highest valuation for your house. Go for the agent who has given you hard evidence as to why your house is worth the figure they are saying, how they have calculated it, and how they intend to achieve it. Are they simply going to leave you to languish on the portals, or do they have any form of social media marketing strategy? And by that, I don't mean that they will simply share a photo of your property to their Facebook page. That does not mean a thing. Do they have a proper marketing strategy? Will they actually sit down and calculate demographics, income, location, everything possible to target the buyers where you are most likely to find somebody to buy your house? If you have any questions on this matter, please feel free to contact me. It doesn't matter whether you're buying or selling through me or someone else. Absolutely no problem whatsoever. It is my pleasure to actually fill you in on what is going on, because I want to see this stamped out. Oh, and one final thing, because I forgot to mention this earlier when I referenced the economy. Overpriced property does not sell. And as this trait gets worse, with more and more agents desperately trying to win listings using the value of property, there are more and more properties that are going on the portals that are not selling. Those properties then are reduced. People with searches, you may know yourself, how many emails do you get? Price drop, price drop, price drop, price drop. Is that property falling? Or is it property being corrected or manipulated? And if too many properties go on the market that are overpriced and don't sell, that could threaten our entire economy, because the property market is the start of the food chain. So these people are not just equity and not just equity manipulators. They are economic criminals, because they are threatening our entire economy, and this must be stamped out. See you in the next video. Bye.